Welcome back. Today we're putting the spotlight on LCD models. Now LCD models, according to their website, has been around for 15 years. I've located two websites. One is their Europe website and the other is their Chinese website. And they demonstrate and show the same products, but the sites are vastly different and they kind of tell a different story. So I found that a little bit interesting. Both websites say the company's been around for about 15 years. One website says there were two gentlemen who had passionate for cars and decided to open up a model company. The other says they originated with OEMs. That's that original equipment manufacturer. So let's say you are a Land Rover dealership and you wanted a couple models to feature some of their new product. Well, LCD would be that company that would make that die-cast model for their products. So in other words, when you see some of those dealer editions out there on eBay, for example, LCD would be one of those that would produce one of those dealer editions. They obviously took those and mass marketed out to everyone else, so their dealer editions are really just the same thing as what we get in model form for retail. But that's the story that they're basically telling us, that's how they were created. They have several brands. Those brands include Toyota, McLaren, Land Rover, Pagani, Suzuki, Honda, and Lexus. Now, when I first discovered this company, it was when they came out with their McLaren 600 LT, I think that's what it's called. That model is fantastic. It was the first one that a lot of other reviewers and publications put to comparison to the McLaren that was done by AutoArt, because they had a similar McLaren. I don't think it was a 600, I think it was a 650, but they were basically the same body style. And those cars definitely complement each other. They're very close in detail. Some things are better on the AutoArt, some things are better on the LCD. Personal preference, but I fell in love with those models, so I did actually end up buying two of those in two different colors. That's how much I really liked it. But it really shocked me how great it was, especially being that all of their models are fully opening die-cast models. Now I'm talking about the 1/18 scale. They also make 1/64. A few of those actually are opening. A lot of them are not, obviously because of the size, but they do make that. But when they first entered the market, they mainly focused on that Suzuki product, the Lexus, and the Land Rover. So they had a ton of trucks. And again, those aren't really a mass market compared to like the supercars that we see today. But yeah, so that was the car. The McLaren's the one that stuck out the most for me. Then after that, they did the Pagani. And they did that Huayra with the number 20 on it, and oh my goodness, I did a review on that car. It is beautiful, has tons of detail. That's when I knew that LCD was a serious company when it came to producing these fully open and well detailed models. Now if you look at today, they released the Toyota Supra, and that one is outstanding. Some of you wanted me to get that model and compare it to the Corvette by AutoArt because their price points were similar. And I know why you wanted me to do that. It's because their price points were so similar. You wanted to show how much more of a better package that Toyota was compared to that Corvette. Well, unfortunately, my retailer friend did not have any LCD models, and he doesn't keep them in his product line, unfortunately. So I wasn't able to get one, and I wasn't going to buy one. And this is the only reason why. I do love the Supra, but come on guys, you know, if you want the Supra, you don't want the stock Supra. You want the one that has the wide body kit on it, right? You want the one with the nice rims. The stock one, it's great. Yes, it's collectible because it's the original form, but everybody knows you want something that's not so much fast and furious, but you know what I mean. You want that dream Toyota that has exactly the specifications you want. And that one just doesn't have it. So that's the only reason why I didn't buy it. There are people who actually attempted to modify those, and I saw the result of that, and it really told me exactly what I was feeling when that car came out, is that you wanted it to have some body kit on it. Who knows? LCD may make one later on that may be from one of the Japanese tuners. That would be freaking awesome if they did something like that. Who's to know? A signal to Supra? Well, just saying. Now recently, during the last German toy show, they brought out samples of their Huayra R, and oh my goodness, this model is fantastic. It's beautiful. It is going to be a must-have. This model is full opening. It has tons and tons of detail, and yes, it is very comparative to that AutoArt from back in the day. So that one I know is going to be priced significantly higher than their typical ones just because there is so much detail. We're talking about a model that's basically on the level of if CMC made modern supercars, this would be it. That's how much detail is in this. Now don't keep in mind there's only the prototypes that we're seeing right now, but this prototype looks very good. You can only imagine what the real product's going to look like, so that is something to really look forward to. Bottom line, LCD is becoming a major competitor when it comes to their product offerings, and this Huayra R is definitely going to be their flagship model for their brand. I think it's definitely going to open it up to far more audiences. They already did that with that Supra, by the way, but oh my goodness, this company is growing. They're using full metal opening die cast. They are priced higher, but nowhere near what you see with some of the other ones, and that includes Almost Real. So that is something to keep in mind. You're getting a model, and I don't know the price of this Huayra R, but I'm very sure it's going to be priced lower than the Almost Real offerings. No, Almost Real doesn't have the Huayra R. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make. I'd be surprised if they don't make it later on. But it's almost $100 less on average if you compare like the Paganis that LCD offers compared to the Almost Real. And the Almost Reals are better. I'm not suggesting they're not, but they're not that much better. They're not $100 to $150 US better. So that's just something to keep in mind. BBR just announced that they're going to make the fully opening Ferrari Purosangue, and this is that SUV that has the inverted opening hood and the suicide doors for the back. So there's a lot of interesting openings on this particular model. Now, there has been arguments on the internet that the fact that BBR first brought out the sealed version of the same car, and how it is shameful that they would bring out a sealed car and then later on bring out a fully open, because the assumption is everybody wants the full opening model. Well, I can kind of see that argument. It's really hard to even hold off on getting a BBR sometimes, thinking that they may later come out with a fully opening model. But I don't think their strategy is really to trick somebody into, hey, we're going to produce the sealed model first and then sell a bunch of those and then boom, surprise, we're going to do the fully open. I don't think that's what they're doing. I don't think so at all. There are a lot of collectors, including myself, who actually prefer, not in all models, but certain models that they are sealed in resin, because the opening counterparts to some of those just look bad. If you look at any of the Ferraris by Barago, for example, or that's kind of a bad example. Let's take the old Hot Wheels Elites. Those were great Ferrari models, but come on guys, the shut lines on those always weren't right. They looked like toys a lot of times, and don't get me wrong, they were beautiful models for the time, but technology stepped up significantly, and all of the sealed resin versions of those Ferraris that were produced by Hot Wheels Elite, they do not compare when it comes to their overall shape. That's just my humble opinion, but I really don't think so. So there are still collectors to this day who prefer the sealed models because of the accuracy in the shape of the model, and that's really the main reason for that. Some actually prefer it because they just don't want to deal with the openings. They like the shape and form of the car. They're not going to be someone who's going to be opening it anytime soon. This will probably be somebody who has thousands of models in their collection, so they just want the shape of the car. They just want the car in their collection, and I totally get that. I would have hoped, if anything, that they would have made a fully opening 812 Competizione, I think that's what it's called. It's a beautiful car. Man, I would have loved that to be fully opening. No, BBR only makes it in a sealed model. Are they going to later come out with it? I highly doubt it, because that particular car, both in the Competizione and the normal version, it's been out for quite some time, and there's no sight of an opening model, no announcements or anything like that. Then the question comes is, why in the heck are you making a fully opening SUV Ferrari? And I think it has a lot to do with the uniqueness of how this particular car opens. It has some very unique openings. I mean, again, those suicide doors, it's a reverse or inverted doors in the back. The hood again opening in reverse. It's just very unique. So I think that that definitely is a great idea that they are coming out with this because of those unique openings. And if you're someone who's into really artistic displays, you're gonna probably display it open that way because of those openings. So I really do believe the folks at BBR got together their strategy team and said, you know, this would be a really great fully opening model because of its uniqueness. So I really think that's what it is. I don't think they were playing the trick of we're going to do the sealed one first and then we're going to, you know, come out with the opening one later so we can maximize our profits. I really don't believe that. I am looking forward to this model. The other thing is that they're also producing the smaller version. I believe that's the 143, and that one's actually going to open as well. So that's a very cool thing from BBR. By the way, just as a note, BBR does not make their die-cast models. They do go to a third party to make those models, and it's a Chinese third party. Some folks believe it's the same Chinese factory that makes the Almost Real models. Personally, I don't care who makes them, just as long as they look good. That's all I really care about. Definitely, if once these are out, if I can get access to it, I definitely will review it. Now we're moving on to the hot list. The hot list models are soon to be released or have recently been released, and they're going to sell out quickly. Let's begin with LCD. The Pagani Huayra is due in the fourth quarter of this year, and the assortment is as follows: pearl white, blue carbon, and black carbon. I would not be surprised if there's additional colors later on. Next, due to the next few weeks, is the Honda EG6 SIR. This legend is fully opening and will come with the now popular lift and keychain. Colors include blue, red, black, and just announced yellow. Available now is the McLaren F1 XP5. This one looks excellent and is currently available in this dark green. If history tells us anything, the orange, which is what everyone will want, will be the last color to be released. Moving on to AutoArt. First, with their release of the Corvette C8 Stingray Z51. The first color is Rapid Blue and this gorgeous torch red. This, of course, is from their composite line, which is very evident with those excellent shut lines. BBR is offering the Le Mans winning 499P in race finish livery. This one is in 1/18 scale and there will be only 100 units available. So get one if you can, as these will definitely go down as one of those greats. As an honorable mention, the FL8 Civic Type R is available in 1/18 scale. Now this is not a hot list item, but it is pretty cool that these are coming out. These are metal die cast and fully opening and are made by Potty Models. Not too familiar with the company, but these look really good and are for very reasonably priced at $150 US. And that concludes this week's hot list. I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. That is the best way I'm going to know you're enjoying these videos. See you next time.